Coding is changing quite a bit in 2024, and here's what you need to know if you want to keep up. First, let's go through 3 facts. Coding is easier than ever to learn, more people than ever know how to code and are learning how to code, and AI tools like ChatGPT have completely demolished the barrier to entry for building technical projects. Now, here's what all of this means for you. The fact that anyone can go online and really quickly figure out how to build anything they want with any language in any tech stack means that basic coding skills are not enough. We've seen that the requirements for junior dev jobs are just getting steeper and steeper, and now you pretty much need to be equivalent to a mid-level developer of 2 to 3 years ago to be able to land just a junior or internship level position. What this really means is that if you want to be a great software engineer and you want to land a job, you need to stand out, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. So first things first, of course, you've got to have the basics down. You need to know fundamental programming skills. You need to know tools like Git and GitHub, how to use an IDE, how to do professional development, and even things like data structures and algorithms are important. You want to make sure that you're a well-rounded developer. You've got all of these areas covered, but that's just the starting point. If you want to land a job now, what's really important is that you specialize. Where people are still hiring developers and where I've specifically looked for developers I've needed to hire is people that have specialized knowledge. That means they're really good in one area of development and they can do things a lot quicker than I'd be able to figure out using something like ChatGPT. Specifically, front-end development, back-end development, DevOps, architecture, system design. If you're really good in one area of programming, there's a language that you are a true expert in or a frameworks that you know really, really well, you're going to stand out, and those are a lot of the jobs that are popping up. They want people that are really good at this, really good at using this database, really good with this framework or this language. It's no longer enough to just be a generalist. Everyone can be a generalist using something like ChatGPT. You need to be the person that can audit ChatGPT, understand when it's going wrong and going right, and how to use it the most effectively, which ties into point number 2. If you want to be a good developer and be able to land a job, you need to be resourceful. That means that, like everyone else, you need to know how to use these AI tools to become as productive as possible. I know myself, I almost always use ChatGPT and AI coding tools. That's become a part of my workflow, and since I'm an experienced developer, I can use them so much better and more effectively than many other beginners out there. I know the questions to ask. I know when it's leading me in the wrong direction. I know how to prompt it to get the information I want, and even though I could write the code myself, I know how to direct it to do it in a faster way. That's the big change with coding. What's happening now is people are coding as if it's natural language. What's really become important is how you explain, how you articulate, how you instruct something like an AI model, and how you know when it's giving you the right answer and the wrong one. No longer do you need to be an expert, extremely fast level programmer writing all of the code yourself. You need to be someone who knows what code needs to be written, who can solve the problem at a high level and break it down into the discrete enough steps that it can be solved by an AI or assisted at least by some kind of artificial intelligence tool. This is where I'm seeing the major change. We're moving away from coding being a pretty difficult thing where there's all this syntax and it's tough to learn to being something that can be implemented with natural language. However, understanding what language to give it is the hard part, and that comes with experience. Now, even if you've done all that and you've become a specialist and you know how to use all these types of tools, you still need to be credible. You need to show all of this knowledge to someone who's potentially going to be hiring you, and that's a lot easier said than done. So here's 3 simple ways that you can provide some credibility and things that you can put on your resume that will make you stand out and actually demonstrate your skills. First, this is an obvious one. Projects. The best way to demonstrate you know how to do something is to actually have done it. To have a project that's complex enough, but also easy enough for someone to understand, you can share on your resume, you can talk about in an interview, and you can relate your experience back to. Beyond that, having some kind of social media presence. Now, in my case, I'm instantly credible because of the hundreds, if not thousands of videos at this point I have online, the multiple courses that I've built, the people that trust me, and the partnerships that I've built. Now, this isn't something that everyone can do overnight, but even when I had a really small YouTube channel, just those 50 or 100 videos with minimal views demonstrated that I did actually know how to code. You could go watch me do a coding live stream and see for a fact that I actually do know what I'm talking about, and I'm able to build something out completely by myself. This is what employers want to know, that if you come on board, you're not going to be someone they need to teach right from the beginning. You already have that background, you're confident working on your own, and you just need a bit of mentorship and advice to get to that next level. They're looking for people they can quickly accelerate up the ranks. They want those god tier, high level, high productivity programs programmers, and you need to demonstrate that you're already well on your way to getting there. Lastly, of course, you can do this with experience. If you've done an internship, if you've done some volunteer work, if you've done coding projects on the side, maybe you've deployed some, you built a website, you've helped out in a Discord server or a community, that can be great. And in fact, with my software development course, we're giving students a ton of experience by actually hiring them to work for us after they complete the course if they're good enough. Obviously, not everyone's going to get that position, but we just hired 2 people graduating our software development course. They really stood out. They were great candidates, aced our final exam, and now they're working as coaches. They're doing grading, and we're immediately trying to get them into our system because we know what potential they have to be a great developer. If you guys want to check out my course, you can do that from the link in the description. It's really designed to be the most up-to-date curriculum to help you land a job in 2024, where all of these things are so important. So now let me give you a 5-step plan to land a software developer role as quickly as possible in 2024. First of all, you got to learn the skills. Can't skip this part. Get the fundamentals down, get some specialized knowledge, get lots of practice working on projects, and test your knowledge to make sure you actually know what you're talking about. Next, join a community. Really important to network with other developers, learn how to work in a team, and get some inspiration and insider knowledge from other people that are going through the application process, trying to land jobs. Gives you some motivation, helps you out, and gives you a lot of extra information. You want a great community, there is one a part of the Course Careers software development course. You can check that out below. I'm very active in there, constantly talking with all of you guys, and it's been great to hear your journeys and stories. Next, you really need to optimize your presence online. This means building a solid LinkedIn profile with a professional headshot. You want to come across as a professional, not as an amateur. You want to make sure you've got all your experience on there. You're tailoring it towards software development roles. You want to make sure all your social medias are cleaned up, that you come across as a professional when someone Googles your name, ideally having a resume or portfolio website, maybe having a little social media presence where you share some coding projects, having a great GitHub where all the projects are organized, clean, easy to understand and run. There's a million things I could share here, but having a solid online presence is really helpful. Next is to build your portfolio. Now, you'll likely be doing this while you're learning all of your skills, but you want to make sure you have at least 3 really solid projects that demonstrate your skill set and show you actually know what you're doing. Now, lastly, it's really helpful to have some insider information. If you don't, you're going into interviews blind. You don't know the types of questions you're going to get asked. You don't know how to prepare. You don't know what roles to apply for, what the salary expectation is. If you know other developers, if you have a mentor, if you join a community, or you're a part of a program like Course Careers Software Development, you get that information, and that's going to save you a ton of time and a ton of effort and really accelerate your career growth. Obviously, you do not need to pay for all of this. You can find it online for free. Anyways, with that said, I will wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.